Did he really just say that? I have all the details and what you need to know right here in this video, so let's get right into it. Alright, as always, we have a lot to cover right here in this video, including some pretty big statements made by some high-profile people earlier today. But more on that here in just a minute. First off, I quickly want to talk about a new report that was just released today that I found to be very interesting and consistent with what we've been talking about here on the channel for about a year and a half now. So if you've been watching the videos for any length of time now, you've probably heard me talk about guaranteed basic income or universal basic income. Essentially, monthly checks going out to the low income with no strings attached every single month. Well, as a result of that, we've also heard from many other people out there coming out saying one of these programs is almost inevitable here in the United States simply because of automation and robotics taking over jobs. Well, here's what's interesting about it. This new report that was just released today is showing that in the first quarter of 2022, robotic purchases are up 40% year over year by businesses. In other words, what this means is that businesses are buying robots and automation left and right now to replace human positions in jobs. So this is exactly consistent with what we've been talking about for a very long time now. Anyway, when I came across this report, I thought, you know what, that's pretty interesting, and I wanted to share it with you simply because we've been talking about this for literally like a year and a half now, and now this report is showing the evidence that yes, businesses are buying robots and they're buying automation to replace literally humans. So a lot of people are going to be out of jobs, but this is exactly what we've been anticipating. So it doesn't come as any surprise, and it's exactly why many people have been coming out saying it's inevitable. We're probably going to have a monthly check program going on in the United States at some point because of all this. Anyway, kind of interesting topic. I wanted to share that with you really quickly. Now, let's quickly talk about a $2,000 stimulus check. This is kind of interesting as well. So for those of you located in the state of Pennsylvania, your governor was out once again today, hitting it hard, talking about a $2,000 stimulus check and pressuring the legislature in the state of Pennsylvania to quickly pass the $2,000 stimulus check for the residents in the state of Pennsylvania. Lucky. Yeah, if you're in the state of Pennsylvania, I mean, seriously, I'm a little bit envious. Yeah, you're very lucky. Now, obviously, this has not been passed yet, but your governor, once again, hitting the ground hard here on a $2,000 stimulus check for those of you located in that state. Now, this would be for those people with an annual income under $80,000, and basically, the governor is simply saying, we have $2 billion sitting on the books right now in the state of Pennsylvania that they need to spend, otherwise they need to send it back to the federal government. So, what would you choose? Would you spend it or give it to the people or send it back to the federal government? I'm not sure about you, but if I were the governor of a state, I know for a fact what I'd be doing. I'd be getting rid of it. I would make sure that not even a single penny would go back to the federal government. I'd be giving it away. I'd be sending it out to people. I'd be setting up programs. I'd be sending it out to the low income. I'd be doing things with it rather than sending it back. So, by the way, all states are in the same position. All states are sitting on billions and billions of federal dollars right now, and if they do not spend them by the end of 2024, they have to send that money back. So that's exactly what the governor of Pennsylvania is saying. Why don't we spend this? Why don't we do something with it? Why would we send it back, right? So anyway, just want to share that with you. But again, I'll watch that one closely as we do get more details. And if it does pass in Pennsylvania, of course, I'll bring that information to you right away. Also, quickly, let's talk about this report. And again, this one is here for you for no other reason simply than entertainment purposes. I came across this report and I thought, you know what? This one might be worth a pretty good laugh for some of us here in the community. Now, this report came out and showed that 1/3 of those Americans right now earning over $250,000 are living paycheck to paycheck right now. So, yeah, apparently this report is showing that even higher income individuals with an income of $250,000, 1/3 of them, 1 out of every 3 people, are living paycheck to paycheck. So, I don't know. I thought it was kind of interesting, but I'm guessing if somebody is earning $250,000 a year, I'm pretty sure they can figure it out, right? I don't know. Maybe lay off the golf a little bit. I don't know. I have no clue what's going on there, but I'm just simply saying, I'm pretty sure if they're taking down that much income every single year, they're probably doing just fine. I'm just guessing. Anyway, I thought that report was kind of interesting, and I thought that some of you here in the community might find it to be interesting as well. Now, again, I just want to make it very clear. I don't want anybody to struggle, regardless of what their income is. I don't want anybody to struggle, whether it's low income, high income like this. I don't want anybody to struggle in any capacity at all. I'm just simply saying. I mean, I'm sure they can probably figure it out. That's all I'm simply saying. So anyway, let's talk about some other reports that came out today as well. So the Labor Department was also out in a separate report coming out today talking about job openings and how many people quit their jobs last month. This, again, is a very interesting report as well. Here's what they're showing. Last month, there were 11.4 million job openings here in the United States last month. At the same time, 4.4 million people voluntarily quit their jobs last month as well, right? So the record is 4.5 million people quitting their jobs a couple months ago, and we're basically sitting about 100,000 people under that limit, under the record there just last month. So 4.4 million people in just last month just walked away from their job. That's it. Done. I'm out of here. I don't know. It's kind of interesting, right? So once again, this shows with this many job openings and people just walking away from their jobs, right away like that, it shows that employees, as in the workers, have massive, massive leverage right now to basically write their own ticket and say, this is what I'm going to work for. If you don't want to pay me, I'm out of here. See ya. And that's basically what's going on right now. So anyway, thought it was pretty interesting. Also, at the same time, President Biden has announced he is preparing a $700 million package for Ukraine. So anyway, another $700 million going over there. So that probably brings the total tally just under about under $55 billion that the president has allocated for Ukraine so far. So it's interesting because generally everything that they work with as far as the administration and Congress is usually in the billions. So it's almost kind of funny that they're even dealing with $700 million. I mean, you know what I mean? $700 million. That's a lot of money. I mean, seriously, but usually they're dealing with billions. So $700 million, it's still a lot of money. But anyway, he's preparing that package right here, right now, and that's going to be apparently approved here relatively soon. Let's quickly talk about something else that was mentioned today that was coming from a high-profile person that we certainly want to listen to. Now, we've been hearing from a lot of economists and high-profile people coming out saying that there are storm clouds on the horizon for the United States economy. That's basically just a nice way of saying, hey, we're basically on the cusp of a massive recession, and things are going to get kind of bad here going forward. We don't know how bad the storm is going to be, but we can see storm clouds on the horizon, and it is coming. However, Jamie Dimon, who happens to be the CEO of JP Morgan, which again is one of the biggest banks in the world. It is one of the top 6 biggest banks in the United States. It's a huge, huge bank, and he is the CEO of it. Well, this morning he was meeting with a group of investors, and he said a hurricane is coming for the United States economy. That's more than just storm clouds. So we don't really know if this is going to be like a Category 1, a Category 5. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not like an expert on hurricanes or anything like that. I'm just going off of what I hear on the Weather Channel. You know what I mean? When I listen to the weather and they're like, hurricane Category 3 or, whatever. So I don't really know much about hurricanes. I'm just simply saying the remarks that were made out of Jamie Dimon to these investors was basically, there's a hurricane coming. That's not what you want to hear out of the CEO of the biggest bank in the United States and one of the biggest banks in the entire world. So this guy knows what's going on. I mean, my point is, he's a very smart person. He obviously knows some things, which is why he's the CEO of the biggest bank in the country. So, I mean, clearly he's a very, very intelligent person. He knows things, right? He knows what's going on. Therefore, when he says a hurricane is coming for the United States economy, we probably want to put those little things on our windows, shutters, and, kind of stack up some food, grab a few canned items, maybe get a few extra light bulbs and maybe some battery powered things. You know what I mean? My point is, prepare right now because it's coming. And we've known this for quite a while now. We've known that something big is coming to this economy. We know that this market is about to get whacked really big here. We don't know when, but we know that it's kind of in the midst of coming right here, right now. So basically with this coming out of Jamie Dimon like this, as I've been saying for quite a while now, if there's any way, if you have a little bit of extra money, I know that money is very tight right now. I totally get it. That's the case for virtually everybody right now. But as I've been saying for quite a few months now, when you go out to the grocery stores, if you can grab an extra can of soup, an extra box of pasta, if you can grab an extra, case of water or things like this, just stuff like this, just one extra little item per week or whatever. I'm just simply saying, you don't need to grab an extra, shopping cart full. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that we should hoard stuff. I'm just simply saying that we know inflation is going to continue to get worse. We know that there's going to be food shortages coming. We know that things are going to continue to get even worse as we move forward. All I'm simply saying, I'm not trying to instill panic in anybody here. I'm not trying to instill fear. I'm just simply saying, if you can grab an extra can of soup here and there, if you can grab a box of pasta, if you can grab an extra few items here and there, it might be beneficial just to kind of stick away, which, by the way, I would not recommend buying perishables. I would not say that at all. I'm not saying go out and buy three heads of lettuce. No, I'm not saying that, because you'll have to eat it all in like 3 days. Otherwise, it's going to get brown. No, I'm not saying that. I'm simply saying if you can grab some non-perishables like pasta, it can sit on your shelf for like 18 years and it's still good, right? You know what I mean? Canned food, like 26 years later, it's still good. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. So obviously, don't take my recommendations. I would never recommend eating food that's been sitting on your shelf for that many years. I'm just simply saying these kind of items you can sit there, and if nothing ever happens, then fine. No problem. You can just eat it at some point in the future. Not a big deal. But in the event prices continue to rise here and things continue to hit the fan going forward, at least you got a few things stacked up to kind of weather the storm. That's all I'm trying to say here. Anyway, these are the reports that I came across today for you. Again, there's all kinds of headlines coming out, but these are just the ones that I wanted to lay out for you right here in this video. A few things that we need to pay attention to, and of course, these are the details that I have for you as of right now. Notice, we didn't even talk about gas prices, but don't worry, I can talk about it right now if you want me to. I did see a report today that came out saying that the new national average is at $4.70. That was one report, and I saw other reports saying that it's still sitting at $4.62. So I'm not really sold on it. I'm not really sure which one it is. I'm not sure if we're still at $4.62 or if we're at $4.70 now. I've seen conflicting reports, so either way, we're at somewhere around that range. Either way, it's still very high. That's all that we need to know right now. Anyway, hope this helps you out. Again, please make sure to subscribe down below. I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. I truly want to help you out, as well as keeping you updated with all this stuff that is hitting the wire, trying to help you out to have a little bit of foresight as into what is coming, and to help you prepare for what is going on, as well as point out any money, benefits, packages, stimulus checks, money, benefits, raises, anything else that may be coming up right here, right now. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please make sure to subscribe down below. It's totally free to do so. I'm here for you right by your side every single day. Enjoy. Stay safe out there. Until next time, go back and check out some of those other videos here on the channel. There's thousands of videos for you to enjoy. Thanks again. I appreciate it.